So for today what we're going to do is we're going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials. Now, if you remember a while back we did elimination. And remember we lined up our x's and we lined up our y's and we lined up our equal signs and then we lined up our numbers and then we added or subtracted them. Remember doing that?
Yeah.
This is very similar to that. But rather than an x and a y, we have like an x cubed and an x squared and an x. Okay? So what we're going to do we're going to look at this problem here. Right? And it asks us to find the sum or difference. Now what you need to do is we need to make sure that they are in standard form. So if I take a look at the first polynomial, is that in standard form? Yes. Take a look at the second polynomial. Is that in standard form?
No.
No. So I'm going to rewrite that. And I'm going to put my x cubed first, then my x squared term, and then my x term. So they all need to be in standard form. Alright, now that they're in standard form, I'm going to line them up so that I can add or subtract them. So I'm going to take the first polynomial. If I name it, what's the first name?
No. Cubic.
Cubic, because my exponent is 3, my highest exponent. And it's how many terms?
Trinomial.
How many terms? 3, and so it's a trinomial. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write this one down. Now notice when I write it down, I've got my 4x cubed and then plus x squared, and then I'm going to leave a little spot, and then I'm going to put plus a negative 5. And the reason why I did that is there is no just plain x term. And I want to leave a little spot for that. Now I'm going to line up my next polynomial. I'm going to put my x cubed under 4x cubed. My negative 3x squared I'm going to put underneath x squared. Now do you see the 7x term?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it right underneath that whole. And sometimes what I like to do is I'll even put like a big 0 or a big O in that spot as kind of a placeholder so it doesn't get all smushed together. Now you're going to notice that they are asking me to add, and it's because of this symbol right here. So I'm going to put the plus sign out front and I'm going to cup it just like I did when I did elimination. Okay, I'm going to draw my equal line. 4x cubed plus 1x cubed is 5x cubed. Notice that I don't add my exponents. I only add the number in front. X squared plus a negative 3x squared gives me a
Negative 2x squared.
negative 2x squared. Nothing. 0 plus 7x gives me
7x.
and negative 5 plus nothing gives me,
Negative 5.
and that's my answer. If I wanted to name it, what would be its first name?
Cubic.
Cubic, because the highest exponent is 3. How many terms? 4. So it's a cubic
Polynomial with 4 terms.
polynomial with 4 terms. That's correct. Okay. Questions on this so far?
Is this how our homework can be?
Yes. Yep.
After finding the answer in the homework, are we gonna be asked to like name the?
It could ask you to name it in your homework, yes. All right, let's move on. All right. Is the first one in standard form?
Yes.
Yes. Is the second one in standard form?
Yes.
Yes. So now it's just a matter of lining them up. So the first one, I'm going to write 4z squared. I'm going to leave a little space and I'm going to go minus 3. Negative 2z squared goes under 4z squared. Where does the 5z go? Under the blank space. And then minus 1. I draw my equals line, and then I like to put the 0 in. I just find it easier, especially for students. Now, am I adding these two together or am I subtracting them? I am subtracting them because of this little symbol right there. And then cup it. And the reason why I do is I want to make sure that it doesn't look like a minus or a negative sign. It's a minus.
Could you chop it though?
No, you cannot chop it. And that's why I want you to make it a minus and a cup it outside. Okay, so I've got 4z squared minus 2z squared gives me
6z.
this is going to be 6z squared. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't get that, you can go 4 minus a negative 2. And yes, that's a chop, and you can do it. You can't chop at the beginning here, though, because this negative affects all the rest of it. Okay, so now I got nothing minus 5z. What do I get?
Negative 5z.
Negative 5z.
Oh, darn it.
And negative 3 minus a negative 1 gives me negative 2. And if you don't get that, you can come off to the side and go negative 3 minus a negative 1. It's a chop, so I get negative 2. Now, if I were going to name this answer, what would my first name be?
No.
First name is?
Squared.
Well, the highest exponent is a 2. You go look. The 2, what do I call it?
Quadratic.
Quadratic. How many terms? 3, so it's a trinomial. Yep. Now, there is going to be something in your notes or in your homework that's going to look a little like this. They're going to have a shape for you. Like that. And they're asking to find the perimeter. What does perimeter mean?
Around.
The distance around, like the rim, right? And they're going to give you something like x plus 1, x minus 2, x plus 4, something like that. So to find the perimeter, all you're going to do is line this stuff up. So x plus x plus x is 3x, and 1 plus negative 2 plus 4 is 3. And that would be my sum. That would be my perimeter. Now, they could throw a little curveball at you. And they could do this. They could go and do that. So how you do that is you line up your x plus 1, your x plus 4, and this other one you're going to put x squared out front, and you're going to go minus 2 here. So when you put it together and you add it, how many x squares do I have? 1. How many x's do I have?
2.
And how many numbers?
3.
It's 3. So you line it up kind of like you did with elimination. That's where a lot of kids, they're like, oh, elimination, who cares? I'm going to fail it. It doesn't matter. It does matter because a lot of those concepts we are reusing now in different areas. Okay? Any questions? All right, we're going to go ahead and start our assignment then.